He said, that's going to be my wife right there. And Herbert said, you leave that girl alone. This is that's not the kind of girl you like. So the next day, when I came from work, it wasn't not even 5 minutes. Bobby was at the door. And he came talk to me. I came outside. And Byron, which is my mom's nephew, he came outside and, he was, at that time, he was my bodyguard. And he was a little short something, as my mom would call him, Body Boo. And he came, he looked, he said, don't touch her. He didn't want Bobby to touch me, and Bobby kept touching me. He was just like, he was talking to me, and he would, touch my hand, and Byron would move his hand. It was so cute. I think Byron was like 13 or 14 or something like that. So Bobby said, we was just shooting the breeze, trying to get to know each other or whatever. And he said, you want to go take a ride by my sister's house with me? I said, sure. And I went and told my mom's sister that I was going to take a ride with Bobby to go to his sister's house. And I told her where she lived, and which she already knew where she lived for some odd reason. I don't know, whatever. And I met his sister that day. And she let me in the house, with him. And she was just staring because we'll talk about that in another subject. She figured I was a Mitchell. I was like the Mitchells or whatever. But, I'm not. I'm a Clark and a Blakemore. She knew, after a while, she knew who I was or whatever. And me and him was watching TV for 5 seconds. And I was, he was just talking to me and stuff. So he went back and he dropped me back off. He said, I'm coming back and holler at you, okay? I was like, okay, I didn't think nothing of it. I know, I like big boys. I like a neat, but I like a big man. And being that I'm a fluffy woman, some people was like, you need to be with a skinny man. No, I liked the way he looked. He carried himself, even though he had just got out of prison. And we talked about what he went to prison for. He sold drugs. I was like, okay, everybody deserves a second chance. So that was April the 2nd. So every day he would come see me. He would bring me to work sometimes where I won't have to catch the bus. And then like April the 6th, he moved into his apartment. Land Ridge Apartments. And he would say, I was 22 years old. He was like, look, we grown. I want to be with you. You my woman. And I was like, okay. Because during those few days, he treated me like, I never really had a boyfriend. Only boyfriend I ever had was Alan. And we all know who Alan is. For my cousin that's watching this video, you know who Alan is. And so April 7th, we made it official. Bobby was my man. I moved in with him. First, I talked to my mom's sister. She was like, I don't know nothing about him. Really know too much about him, but besides that, he was on drugs. I was like, drugs? You know me, I'm country hillbilly from Louisiana. I was like, what you mean on drugs? So I asked him. He was like, I smoke weed. I was like, oh, that kind of drug. I didn't, knowing me, I'm thinking crack cocaine and whatever. He smoked weed. I said, okay. He said, but I don't do that anymore. I was like, okay. And which he never did smoke weed around me. That's something he didn't do. So, I made it official with him. We kick it. But once we got in the apartment, he still treated me like the queen I am and still is. His sister would come get me to get my hair fixed, try to make me look good. And what was so funny, I called my mom and I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm dating this guy, such and such, named Bobby DeBose. Mama say, Bobby DeBose? I know somebody named Bobby DeBose. And come to find out, my mom and his dad knew each other. His dad had passed away when he was in jail. But I was like, oh, Tiff, I know his dad. Oh, he's come from a good family then. He comes because Bobby was amazing. Bobby was sweet. This video is about to end in a few seconds, so we're going to continue on the next video. So, my mom said that Bobby used to hold me when I was a child. And she said, not in her wildest dreams she ever thought that would be my future father-in-law. Next